Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you with Dallas Cowboy Jr. Just wanted to hit a couple notes that I'm seeing today. First off, let's start with the Trayvon Diggs thing. I've heard a couple guys talk about it, but funny thing is, as much as we talk Cowboys and how they're usually, always plastered all over the headlines for doing something stupid and whatnot, this story isn't making waves. This story isn't out there. I've seen really like one website even talk about it, so which is surprising for a Cowboy, which leads credence to maybe it's not a big thing. But the story is about some Instagram star named Chinese Kitty, I do believe. And she is accusing Trayvon of, I think, assault, stalking, and threats by phone. Now, she doesn't give, at least the article I saw on it, doesn't give much credence to evidence. They say there were some screenshots that could help show some proof, but the screenshots, all I saw was basically her calling out Trayvon and the Cowboys. There was a picture of some phone conversations that came from a Maryland number and a bunch of unknown numbers. Now, I, for one, am one of the mindset that that's not real evidence. That could be anybody and their mama who has a phone number from Maryland calling you. And unknown numbers could be anybody. You're on freaking Instagram and you're a star. So, and none of the numbers have names on them. So how is it that we, the average fan, is supposed to know it's Trayvon Diggs, Obviously, you got his number somehow. So it's not like you're innocent in the whole thing, because you got his number, apparently, if you know that's him stalking you. Because none of the pictures has him explicitly saying his name. There was some screenshots of some messages that don't really help her either. So I'm just trying to figure out what exactly is her proof. And then the rest of the pictures was just her Instagram pictures. I'm sorry, I don't want to look at your big titties and big ass when this is supposed to be about assault and stalking. This is a serious matter. Why I want to see pictures about you trying to be cute? So take that story for what it is. Nobody's really reporting it, so that kind of tells you right then and there it's not a big thing right now, if it's a thing at all. In other news, the Cowboys have foregone the NFLPA's recommendations to skip OTAs and are at the Star. So, Trayvon, if he's stalking, I don't know how when you're at the Star at the same time. So, unless she lives in Frisco or somewhere near the facility, I'm not really thinking that's him. But, yeah, most of the Cowboys are usually at the OTAs. They're voluntary, but for the longest time, we've had darn near 100% participation. It's just a long-running thing that some of these guys do take this serious, if not all of them. Since before the Garrett era, guys show up for OTAs. They're not too big for that. So the NFLPA trying to stop them from going, not going to happen. And they don't have to disclose numbers as far as how many people show up, because they are indeed voluntary. We still know just through various news outlets that they've been practically 100% every year anyway. Next up in the news, Alex Smith has decided to retire. So there goes that idea for a backup quarterback. It would have been a good idea, but from the one so-called inside source, he wasn't even considered on their list to be an option as backup quarterback. So take that as you may. A lot of fans did like to see him work with Dak because of the way he showed admiration to him as being an inspiration for his comeback when he did get injured. And Dak spoke up himself at the press conference that Alex Smith was a name that he could trust and rely on to talk about for the injury. And they became friends after that. So, not seeing him continue his career is kind of a letdown because of his comeback. It was an inspirational thing after what happened to him. But Godspeed, Alex Smith, to whatever you want to do in their future endeavors. Next up, and here's probably why a lot of Cowboy fans get misinformation, is because a lot of us said, why did we let Alden Smith go? Well, through the pipelines, it was discussed that maybe there was some off-the-field issues that kept him from being retained that the Cowboys knew about that the rest of us did not. Now, this didn't happen during the season. This happened just this past weekend. Apparently, he now has a warrant for his arrest for second-degree battery in New Orleans. I think the incident took place outside of a cafe, and they're asking for information for his arrest. And he doesn't live in New Orleans. He has family in the area, but I don't know. This transgression is the sort of thing that the Cowboys didn't want to slap him back in the face with him. And as soon as he's picked up by the Seahawks, bam, the first weekend, he's now getting into incidents with second-degree battery in New Orleans. So, in hindsight, this was a good move. A lot of it, I do believe, was also credited to Randy Gregory coming back and being as good as he was. And maybe a shot for Dorrance Armstrong to catch on, too. Bradley and they as well. So, there were options behind him. That's why they probably weren't particularly heartbroken when they let him go. But this is the kind of stuff that Cowboys are happy they didn't have to deal with. So sometimes, as much as we crap on the Joneses, sometimes their decisions are spot on. This one particularly, because Lord knows if it was he was still a Cowboy, this would have been blown up all over the place. So that's the news as of right now. Cowboys are participating in OTAs. It involves virtual meetings, some two-a-days, and no on-field work with coaches. But you can have workouts and guys doing rehab. The weight rooms are open. So we'll see. Hopefully everybody can get back to the grind and we'll get some information as far as, how some of these rehabs are coming along, because we haven't had real confirmation of anything in quite some time. And you've got people like Tyron Smith and Lael Collins coming back from injury that we'd really like to know about. We already seen some video of Dak, but it wasn't much. So you can assume these guys are at the Star, along with CeeDee Lamb, who's already shown that he's ready to go, and Zeke Elliott, who's been shown to be on Dak's backyard field at practicing. So we know the offense at least is at the Star and doing the right thing. Defense, we'll just have to see. Hopefully we get some information. The OTAs will range from now until May 14th, I do believe. And hopefully we can get some news coming out of there through, Hellman, Fisher, Kavanaugh, 105.3 The Fan, or any of these Dallas Cowboys sources. If not, you can rest assured that a Cowboys YouTuber like myself will have information for you. So keep a lookout in the future. Until then, if there's anything else to talk about, we'll talk about it. But say bye, Junior. Say bye-bye. This is VA Dallas Cowboy fan, senior and junior, out.